Mic check. You guys hear me? All right. So first things first, we're going to cover the tether chart because we did just print a weekly bullish engulfing candle. Not the best. Don't really want to see that. It's not good. Not for upside in the market anyway. All right. So technically, a weekly bullish engulfing for like the last 2 weeks. The monthly candle close. We did close a monthly bearish engulfing candle. All right. So high time frames, I think, are still okay. All right. This is you can clearly see that the monthly stochastic RSI is still, still up here. Okay. Our 3 week, we did just get a cross down. We do have 3 week bearish divergence on the oscillator. We also have 2 week bearish divergence on the oscillator. So how long does that take to play out? I think it takes a couple weeks to play out. All right. Because what we do want to understand, what we do want to know, and kind of be cognizant of is we do have a higher low on the tether chart right now, given we're in a downtrend. Okay. This is not really of concern to me until we start taking out 6% on the dominance chart. Okay. High time frame. Weekly time frame here in the short term. All right. If we do see more sell pressure, I would say it's likely that we go up to test, almost this 5% region. All right. Now, if we start to make closes above 5%, all right, we can talk about really, a deeper drawdown on the market. I don't really get scared of bear market stuff until we really start to take these swing highs out. Okay. Once we really change this trend, then it's bear market time. Okay. Right now, not concerned about a bear market right this moment in time. I am concerned about maybe a potential continuation of drawdown. Okay. That is still of concern. And that is because of this weekly candle. All right. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean we are going to see continuation from that candle. However, you need to be aware of it. And it's there on the chart. All right. Now, like the lower time frames here, like our 3-day, we can see that we're starting to reject the 3-day 50-week moving average, which is good. We want to see that. On the 2-day here, we closed what looks to be like, a bit of a rejection, but technically this 2-day candle here is still holding its trend, right? Engulfing candle, right? The daily actually here rejected the supply zone. Yeah, the dollar is kind of oversold, yeah, on the daily time frame. The high time frames. It's also the weekly is very oversold as well, right? You can see that from the stochastic RSI here on the weekly chart. The monthly, not so much. The monthly has room to drop, okay, for the dollar. Yeah, I think the monthly chart here can go way down. Still, is tether dropping yet? Yeah. So that's the we. What's actually really good? This monthly print, dude. This monthly print, we actually closed below the signal line on tether on the monthly time frame. All right, it's ever so slight, okay, but it's still sitting neutral, 46 on the monthly. All right. I think it's just a matter of days or maybe a couple weeks here before this decides to roll over. So we're going to see what happens here. We did get a little bit of a wick the end of this month here. Okay, that is buying pressure on the monthly candle. All right, that profit taking happening there. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of we're in the middle of this range right now. If we really want an alt season, man, I really got to say this, but we got to start taking out this 4% or 3.8% region, and we got to really break down into a further downtrend. Okay, this chopping around business in this range isn't gonna be conducive for that. All right. So yeah, we gotta continue to draw down. Yeah, alt season's taking forever because of the ISM. The business cycle, okay, looks like we're printing a 49. We really want to start to see this close on the business cycle. We really want to see this start to close above 52. That is when all of our previous alt seasons have started. So we're really lagging right now. And I think we're going to get PMI numbers tomorrow. So to me, look, it says next release is tomorrow. If this thing prints at 52, things will start to accelerate pretty quickly. I think this is actually a really pivotal week in these markets, right, coming up here and into middle of June, because middle of June, I think we have the Fed meeting. And, if they decide to start cutting rates, which I think they're going to probably do that, that will accelerate the situation. And also, typically, we get alt seasons when the Fed goes into QE. Now, I think right now we got some stealth QE going on. The Fed is buying bonds up because no one's buying our bonds. So for them to do that, they need to print money to do that. They're printing money without really telling people that they're printing money. All right. And so, yeah, we'll see how this plays out. But right now, the monthly here on Tether looks like we should see continuation down. We should see continuation down here. This might take some days, some weeks, whatever. Okay. They're giving you gifts. They're still giving you gifts in the altcoin market. Just watch the coins that are actually outperforming, right? Like, the AI coins, like AI 16Z here, putting in a higher low after this nice break and retest. This is going to be a runner. Like, you can tell the coins that are, when Bitcoin bounces, what altcoins are outperforming Bitcoin on the bounces. Those are probably the assets that you probably want to own, because they're going to outperform Bitcoin, right? And it's just kind of what you have to do is pay attention to the assets that are doing that stuff. All right. Hyperliquid, this one's a really big, it's a monster. Like, this is a monster. All right. I think they're the most profitable protocol right now on chain. And this thing just back tested its previous high, and it looks like it's trying to pivot and run again. All right. I mean, that's strong. That's very strong. This is going to go into price discovery. All right. While the rest of the market is pulling back and doing a bunch of nothing burger, this coin's ripping. So, but yeah, here. So the daily here looks like it's trying to pivot off the Kijun line for Bitcoin. The daily reset here, we got a stochastic RSI that's going to cross up. Yeah, we can cover some of the Atrop or the pulse chain coins. Yeah, we can do that, Henry. Sure. Hype ain't hype, yeah. Dude, hype that's solid. It's solid. Gotta say it's solid. Here's your, okay, we'll cover some of the pulse assets. Wow, what happened here? Okay. Let's see. I apologize. So, deck screener. Oh. How do you guys like the 4K quality? Is that coming in nice? You guys see that nicely? So I'm wearing I don't know if you guys can see this, but I'm wearing a dad shirt today. Dad. My daughter, she we had her first birthday party today. She'll be 1 on the 4th of June, so yeah. Yep. Yeah, she's really fun, man. She's really fun. All right, so we'll take a look at Fed. By the way, guys, these assets on Pulse Chain are fucking insane. Like, you don't even need to take like tons of risk on these, and I've seen some stupid shit already. All right, and here's Fed breaking. I actually had this wedge plotted. Fed just broke out of its wedge. Like, remember, guys, no NFA for any of this stuff. $21 million market cap right now. This thing off its bottom, you guys are gonna laugh. Off of this thing's bottom has done a 197,000% move off of its bottom. Given at this bottom here, you probably couldn't really even buy a lot of it because the liquidity was probably so low. But even if you were able to buy $50 worth of it down here, you're effing lit. Anyways, yeah. So Fed coin, bullish engulfing candle on the weekly close, just up only, volume increasing. Weekly RSI is down here at a 28. I mean, come on, man. Like, what is this thing going to really do when stuff really starts to go? So the best way to chart these, I think, is using the market cap chart. So yeah. So a 12-hour stochastic RSI cross back up. Yeah, I'm not saying that this thing won't continue down or anything like that, but you can see it put in a nice candle right here off of this retest level, this Fibonacci level. So that if this is actually going to hold as support and maybe chop sideways here, so this to me looks like it's going to the next fib extension eventually, which from here is about a 435% move, which is kind of confluent with its only real resistance I see on the chart, which is this little block here, this area. It's insane. Okay, cool. Yeah, we'll check out FDIC. This is super low cap, super low liquidity. It's gonna go through some crazy swings. It's related to that Fed coin. I think there's some LPs tied to it. But yeah, massive downtrend right here. There was a big breakout here that happened. This thing was up like 10x from this low. I would say that this is fine. It's just like, it looks like it's back testing this level. And again, you know, you got a 3-day stochastic RSI cross up. This will take some days to play out, some weeks to play out. Again, you know, your RSI flat line down here at like a 32. I've been looking at like the 12-hour charts to kind of get an idea when these things are going to go, because they're so low cap and stuff. But yeah, the 12-hour RSI went overbought, boom, pullback, right? There it is. 12-hour RSI overbought, boom, pullback. And it looks like you're trying to you know, find a support. We probably consolidate a bit more, okay, on this. So if you're playing the Atropa games, you would want to buy Fed and then rotate to T-bill or near once it reaches parity. Yeah. I mean, if you chart Fed versus Atropa, okay, and Fed versus PDI, Fed versus any of these coins, Fed is just crushing them all. So it's like you want to be in the one that's outperforming, right? So yeah, until that thing goes to parity, probably to Treasury bill. But I think that Fed coin is probably going to continue pushing even once it does get to a parity with T-bill, because then T-bill is going to take off, right? And when T-bill takes off, then you got like exactly what you just said. You have teddy bear that's highly LP'd with Treasury bill. And teddy bear is still pretty wrecked down here on the monthly time frame. You know, it's not like it's not in value town here. It is. This is, I would still say that this is value town for teddy bear. And yeah, I'm targeting, maybe up to an $850 million market cap on this thing once it really goes. Like once this flips the monthly super trend up here at 60 million cap, I think like blow off top to like almost an $850 million market cap. It's a $10 million market cap today. That might take 6 months, by the way. So just saying. Yeah. Yeah, but Fed coin's going to crush teddy bear. That's the crazy part. That's the crazy part. Is Fed coin is like, have you seen the chart? I mean, all this stuff is like pipe dream fairy tale stuff, but like in theory, if Fed coin or if T-bill is going to go to, let's just say PDI gets to 7 cents. Okay. I'm not talking about pegs. I'm not talking about any of that stuff. I'm just talking about technicals on the chart. Between 6 to 7 cents is like my PDI kind of target right now. Right. And T-bill is supposed to trade at parity with PDI. And Fed is supposed to trade at parity with T-bill. Right. So 7 cents for Fed is like what? 200-300x or something crazy. So Fed's going to probably crush all of them in terms of ROI. Yeah. Teddy bear does well at 80x. Fed does a 200 something x. Yeah, PDI does like a 60x, 60, 70x or something. All these x's sound crazy. Like, I don't know if this is, and none of this stuff is going to happen. Okay. I don't know. Yeah. But just looking at charts, it looks possible, especially if we get a crazy altcoin run, which I think we will get. So I'm not discounting anything here that's not possible. I think that this stuff is possible. But anyways, I'm spending a lot of time on pulse chain stuff. I'm not sure a lot of the viewers here really, I mean, there are some viewers that hear that would appreciate that, but we can look at some other stuff too. Just so you know, she's already minted it. That was why Fed crashed. This crash, these crashes here is Maria minting the coin. That's why it crashed. She's no longer minting the coin, because if she was minting the coin, her whole bag wouldn't be Fed and Treasury bill. This is Maria, or his bag, whatever he or she is. I don't know. her denomination. But this is not loading. But this is Maria's wallet. Maria's wallet is holding 27.5 billion Fed tokens, dude. Just saying. Why hold this amount? I mean, obviously he or she can't unload this amount right now. But by the time she can unload it, there's going to be probably millions in liquidity. There is going to have to be. I don't see any other way for him to extract the money. How's he going to extract the money? He's got to extract it somehow. Otherwise, it doesn't make any sense. And like even last time when he dumped his bags, he was transparent about when he dumped his bags. So like we're gonna know he's gonna be like, all right, this Fed thing isn't working, and like he's gonna exit it, dump the chart. But yeah, it pays to kind of watch what he's doing. So right now he's rolling T-bill for crows. I've never even heard of this coin. Yeah, crows. He didn't really rip a lot. Actually, he is ripping a lot. Look, 300, 300, 300, 300. I mean, not really a lot. But we can like take a look at this coin. This thing's probably wrecked, so he's probably getting a bag of it. Let's see. Okay, this one's paired against Atropa, by the way. Whoever was asking about that, playing the Atropa games. Well, this coin's paired against Atropa. Yeah, that chart looks pretty good, man. That looks pretty good. This thing, yep, it's in a local uptrend, just like a lot of these. This thing traded as high as $2,000 at one point. This chart looks exactly like P-Dye's chart. It looks exactly like all the other. It looks like the teddy bear chart. This chart looks identical to all the other charts. Right. So here it is versus Atropa. It's probably at the bottom of its ratio. Oh my God. So yeah, this coin right here, because it's a lot lower market cap than Atropa, if this thing starts to push, you could probably make a lot of Atropa on this ratio trade. Even if it just goes back up to test, this 8,400 or whatever. Yeah, it looks almost exactly like the Wrap Bitcoin chart because the price is very close to Wrap Bitcoin. I wonder if he's emulating Wrap Bitcoin with this asset or something. I don't know. Who knows? I don't know. Yeah, so check out the holder count. Check out. Obviously, this coin's probably mintable. There's only 800 crows. Well, there you go. It's got some scarcity to it. He can probably pump the living shit out of this thing if he wants. This guy, this is a contract. This guy's holding 10% of the token supply, so you can take a look at who's holding it. These are all the things that I do. I look at this stuff. I'm going down this rabbit hole, so I just look at this stuff. This guy owns a lot of the crow. This guy also owns a bunch of other shit. T-bills, Trumps, Atropa. Yeah, this is probably just some rando guy who's been following and doing Maria things and whatever. Anyways, this coin looks pretty good. I'm going to add it to my watch list. and we shall watch it. Sand. Take a look at sand, yeah. Sand. Let me find a better chart. Sand looks kind of weak. Looks like it's kind of retesting this range here. It's probably not a bad accumulation spot. It just looks like it's trying to round out a floor, is what it looks like. You know, you got this whatever rally here. Why is there text box coming up? Yeah, we'll take a look at some of those too. Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's that much more left to go down on this coin, really. I mean, you're very low risk here on the monthly time frame, you know. You're pretty close to these range lows, man. You know. You could just trade this to the top of the range. Might take some months to do that, but yeah, I mean, you know, I think you got about 162% upside if these range lows hold. Yeah. And it's just kind of skating along here around the RSI, like we're just sitting in the buy zone. You know. Now, once this monthly stochastic crosses, man, I think it's go time for this coin. All right, cool. We'll look at Link. Yeah. I liked Link. I mean, obviously we got some shenanigans last couple weeks here, but I think it's still holding its trend, dude, even though we got a little bit of a drawdown here and made an attempted rally up to 17, came back down to the bottom of the range again. I don't really see anything bad about this chart. Truthfully, like you made your low, making a higher low. You're still making higher lows, right? So just look at the chart. Low, higher low, slightly higher low. Now, if this starts breaking this range and like takes out these lows, then yeah, we can talk about a different scenario. But to me, this, if you look at these wicks, you could really see some accumulation here. Okay, on the monthly time, the high time frame. I think that Link looks good, even though we got these pullbacks or whatever here this last week or so. Okay, what? So they're gonna bring it back down to retest the range low again. Okay, they're giving you another gift. They're giving you some more gifts, man. That's what it looks like to me. Now, if you really want to like chart it versus Bitcoin, I think that's when you'll really know it's going to break out or start outperforming Bitcoin. You know, that's kind of what you should really look at. It's not looking bullish against Bitcoin right now. Not yet. Not by any means. So you could be looking at some more chop, maybe some more down against Bitcoin here. I do see a bit of a wedge forming against Bitcoin. All right. You know, what you really want to look for is some divergence or some edge on the chart to give you inclination to be like, hey, maybe I should really be rolling Bitcoin for link. I don't really see that yet. So yeah, just keep your eyes peeled on these types of charts, and this will give you some really good clue as to what's happening here. Okay. This pattern could break. It could go lower versus Bitcoin. But yeah, man, we're definitely deep in the buy zone here. 32 on the monthly. It's getting down there. It's getting down there for sure. Daily oversold. All right. So that's your chain link. I would recommend you guys chart your altcoins against Bitcoin all the time, as that will really give you an idea of like, hey, do I really want to own this coin over Bitcoin right now? Right now, the answer is no. Right now, you want to just be in Bitcoin. All right. How's our ETH Bitcoin chart looking? So the ETH Bitcoin chart, I think we confirmed. We did. It looks like we confirmed our first monthly bullish engulfing candle since May of 2024. Wow. Good job, Ethereum. All right. So yeah, we've been looking for some continuation on this ratio here, is what we're really hoping to see, because that should initiate our altcoin season, and hopefully we get one. Looks like we're going to get one, just a matter of when. And that'll probably mark, once we get the altcoin season, that'll mark the end of the cycle. So I think we have some time, because this is taking its time to rally. And so the longer it takes, well, yeah, maybe the longer the cycle will be. I don't know. It's all about the global liquidity, though, and how that is kind of transpiring on the chart. And yeah, we should always be cognizant of that. I think that's really the driver for all markets, not just the crypto market. But yeah, we do have an updated signal that did print on the close. We printed a monthly long signal on our STP signals. So that's good. That's good. 3-week confirmed. Our weekly confirmed back here. So okay, we could be looking at maybe a bit of a drawdown. I'm thinking, like, if we're gonna pull back some more, man, on Bitcoin, it's like 98K, like this region right here. All right, like this, you could see the high volume area here, around 98 to like 97K region. But we'll see. Right now, we're holding our daily uptrend right now. So, and the 12-hour just reset. We could get an attempted rally here, and we'll see if we get a push tomorrow or the next day. Looks like it's going to happen relatively quickly here. So we'll see how much that tether chart actually holds up. $4K this month. I mean, okay. That's like a 50% move? Not even. It's like a 40% move. It's all about this tether chart, man. If this thing can pull back down, get rejected, I think we're good. Yeah, we'll look at DOT, dude. DOT. DOT just sitting at the bottom. Just sitting down here. I don't know what I'm going to say. It's in the long-term accumulation zone. Top of the range, not like $10. If you end up breaking that zone, you know, you got some levels here. 20, 40. Basically, those look like the levels to me. You know, maybe a little resistance here at 1580. Once you break through this range, man, you're gonna. It'll probably be pretty easy for you to break through these ranges because you've built up enough momentum to get through. All right. But yeah, these high time frame charts just look pretty bottomed out. You're just retesting this low. This is what you're doing right now. I would say you're not in any sort of trouble until you really break this range low. Until you really break it. They tried. They tried to break it. They popped it back in the range. So, yep. I mean, nothing bad to really say other than this is like lowest risk area on the chart for DOT. That's what it is. That's the lowest, like probably one of the lowest risk areas on the chart. Yep, no problem. Let's look at others. .d. All right, man. New month. Are we going to go green? We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 red candles. 6 red candles. Is this where we pivot, man? Is this where altcoins just wake up, bro? Deep in the zone, man. 32. Never been this low on the RSI ever on the altcoin index chart, basically. Flip the monthly trend, super trend to short on HA candles. Something tells me that we're probably just going to get a candle out of here soon. Very, very soon. Very, very, very soon. So. Seven candles is magic, dude. Yeah. Dude, it's got to be the floor for these altcoins, man. Like, really. This has got to be the floor. If this isn't the floor, man, then they are never coming for your alts. Ever. Ever again. They're done forever. Something tells me that ain't true. So, to me, this looks like a wedge on a monthly time frame that eventually breaks out of here and goes to test the top of this range. That is putting us at a 20% others.d that will send all of your altcoins at minimum 5x for some most big ones. Small cappers probably do 20, 30, 40, some of them 100x, depends on what it is. Just depends on the asset. But to me, this looks like it's ready to go, man. This looks like the bottom for the altcoin market. Straight up. Just looks like the bottom. That's it. Could chop around here for a bit, go sideways some more. Hell, they might even fucking pound it one more month. Who knows, dude? But I think we're going to start to see this flip here soon. Soon. Very, very soon. So that's it. I got nothing else to say other than stay patient, buy your dips and your lows. They will pay you later on. They always do. You just have to be patient. And that's the name of the game, is just being patient. You don't get rich overnight. You just don't. You just don't, guys. You just don't. So, anything else you guys want to look at? Yeah, man. Alts are oversold on monthly, 2-month. So, yeah, no clipping right now on the 2-month or the monthly. But, man, we're getting down there. Getting down there, man. Getting down there. This could maybe chop around for a bit. Like we could do something like this too. We could do something like this before we go. That is totally plausible. Some sort of formation like that. Litecoin and TNSR. We'll look at Litecoin, sure. Litecoin. I haven't looked at Litecoin in quite some time. Well, you get a very clear uptrend of support here on Litecoin. That is very clear. And the top of your range here. And some down sloping resistance. Pretty clear there as well. Top of your range here that you fake broke here and came back into the range. So yeah, Litecoin actually looks pretty good here. Probably going to go test like 110 eventually again. Your 2-week here oversold. Yeah, I'd watch for this higher low that it'll probably maybe try to put in around, it could come back down to the 70. It depends on how much selling we get right now. If we really see some more selling, which we could, next couple days or weeks or whatever. I don't know. Maybe it's pivoting here. It's trying to put a higher low right here. So yeah, 109 break is the area break, and then 140s top of that range there. And then I think you're pretty much almost clear to go to like 290s and then $300-400 Litecoin. You can see the ever so slight accumulation happening on this asset. That's very nice to see. It's very nice to see. Good. This actually looks like a long-term ascending triangle, if I'm being frank about it. And this is where you would see the breakout, probably somewhere in here in November. You probably start to really accelerate out of here on Litecoin. That's a 750% move for Litecoin if that breaks out, man. That's a big move. So yeah, maybe like a $700 Litecoin. So that sounds insane. But I think that that's possible. I mean, my fib levels are saying a bit higher, but yeah, I think on candle body close, man, if you get monthly candles above 244, that looks pretty good, man. Cool. Yeah, Litecoin looks good. Nice, nice accumulation structure. Nice, looks like an ascending triangle, long-term ascending triangle. I'm looking at very high time frames here. By the way, guys, that was a 5-month chart of Litecoin. So cool. Litecoin looks good. Anything else you guys want to take a look at? Oh, TNSR. Oh, Tensor. Yeah, I think we were talking about this a while ago. Let's go ahead. Yeah. Cool, man. Glad you appreciate it. That looks pretty good for a channel on Tensor. You know, maybe a bull flag of sorts. Looks good. Looks like it maybe putting its low. Or close to putting its low in there. You don't really have enough data, though. I don't like to really make that designation. That's the problem with some of these charts sometimes. What's up, Cookies? I like how the RSI here is bouncing on the 2-day. That's a good sign. This asset. 12-hour looks nice, went oversold. You can see the volume coming in here on the buys. Boom. Yeah, that looks good. Dude, yeah, I mean, you can really easily manage your risk here on something like this because you're at or very close to range lows. And, you know, if it ends up taking out this 11-cent region, you just get out of this thing and let it go. Like, you don't need to be in it below that level. I would say anything below 11 cents, you don't want to be in this coin at all because you don't know where it's going to go. It could just bleed out forever. Just, you know, all the way down. You don't know. No idea. So if you're in this, not a bad place to be in it. Your stop is below this range low, and that's really it. You don't want to be in below that, I don't think. PX, yeah, it's breaking out. Cool. Sure. Let's see. Hex on Pulse Chain is up 3%. Well, it's very clear what you did, man. You broke out, and you're back testing your breakout, catching some bids there. That's good to see. bouncing off your daily super trend. Yeah, I mean, if you catch follow through on something like that, then you're looking at back to the top of the range, 40%. And you can see the trend here has been your friend. It's kind of uptrending. I would say it's pretty much a channel. So yeah, I mean, you could trade to the top of this channel too, which is about an 80% move. If you break through this wall, looks like you got a big wall here, dude. This is a big wall to break through. All right. On your p-hex. That's it. And just watch that region. Cool. Well, we've been live for almost an hour. Do you guys want to look at it? Do you guys have any stock picks or anything you guys want to look at? Stonks. I was looking at some of these BTC stocks, particularly this one. This asset is invested into Ethereum. And, well, this thing is pretty wrecked. So when ETH blows out, look at the monthly RSI on this thing, man. It's a 26 reading. I think this is a bottoming pennant. And if it doesn't break this week, maybe the following week, really just going to depend on when ETH goes, right? So if ETH goes next week or the next week or two here, this thing has a chance at probably doing some stupid numbers on this chart. I don't know that it's going to do this whole move, man, but man, that would be pretty insane if it did that. But you guys can see what I'm talking about here. So it broke its long-term downtrend here off this candle and just back tested it, and it's trying to pivot and rally. You can see the volume coming in at these lows too. The highest volume of the asset's ever seen coming down at these lows. So something to pay attention to. Yeah, could be a good trade setup here. One low, second low, third low, fourth low. I mean, you see the accumulation happening. You can see it. After accumulation happens, you get markup phases, okay? That's just how these things go. And you can see the range is plotted here. Dude, SBET's like gone, dude. There's no point in even looking at that thing. So cool, man. Yeah. It's probably going to get wrecked. Like I wouldn't want to be buying this thing up here right now. You got 4-hour bearish divergence forming there. It wouldn't shock me if they brought this thing all the way back down to like $10. That wouldn't shock me. Right here. Maybe $12. Bring it on back. If they do that and they bring it on back and we get a reaccumulation zone or something here, like we start sidewaysing here, sure. That would be a good place to maybe pick it back, pick it up. But after you've broken out like that, you don't want to be buying that. DFDV. I think same kind of concept with this stock too, man. You know, $6. Bring it on back, man. Bring it on back, dude. You know, I don't know. Maybe this upsloping trend line support holds, but I don't think so. I think that this thing is already weekly bearish divergence up here. Yeah, fuck that. Probably a good short. Probably missed the top on the short, but still probably going to come down a bunch, you know. Yeah, no thanks. I'll stay out of that. You know, $6, a retest of $6. Then we can maybe talk about a reaccumulation down here or something for the next leg. You know, you get 5 impulse waves on these things. So like maybe you're talking about, wave 1, 2. Your third wave is actually the biggest. Okay, 4, 5. It's probably not going to go that high, but you guys get the point. Tesla. Tesla. Yeah, Tesla looks pretty good on the high time frame here. Yeah. Galaxy Digital Holdings, yeah. All right, yeah. So Tesla's all-time high, previous all-time high was here. We made a new technical all-time high, but got swallowed back in real quick before that could continue. But yeah, you can see the low, the higher low, the higher low, right? So you would think at some point Tesla does one of these blowout moves to, somewhere around $1,300 or whenever you end up touching this long-term trend line. And that'll probably be the top. Like it's probably not going to just break that. So yeah, you're going into a parabolic phase here for Tesla, just like you're probably going into a parabolic phase for Bitcoin and for S&P, NASDAQ, stock market, all of that stuff. Okay. This is kind of where we're at. We're towards the end of it. We're approaching the end, I should say. Maybe 6 months out or something like that. But yeah, like if you look at the monthly chart, it's like this has got lots of room to run up. Look at your monthly RSI. It's got the room to do it. So you know that is a possible situation. Why does my camera suck? What are you talking about? It's not in 4K. It's in 4K right now. You suck. Joshua Gat. Keeps flickering out. Yeah, because I'm clicking that button. That's me clicking it out. Ready? I'm going to click it out again just for you. Oh my God, my camera sucks. Yeah. Yeah, Tesla looks good. 2-week cross up here. Weekly looking good. Whatever. You're going to probably chop around up here for a bit before you break out. But yeah, the daily here is telling you we pull back a bit. So, look for reaccumulation on Tesla. If we really come down to like the 306 region, that would probably be a bang area to take a long-term swing trade or some call options or something here, and then just get that break because that daily is extended right now on Tesla. Tesla probably pulls back a bit next couple days. AMD. AMD. Monthly looks pretty good. It's got room to run up, right? So yeah, that looks good. Once you break that, I think you're off to the races. You got to break that trend line though. Look for that monthly break. It's definitely a flag pattern on AMD there. Buy the breakout, man. Buy the breakout on AMD. Okay. That's it. What else, boys? Any other gems? I'm still in this NVAX trade, man. Do you guys see this thing? This thing looks like it's ready to fucking blow its load. I've traded this thing so many times too. It's just it's just so low risk down here, man. Like, what? This isn't gonna break out at some point here? It looks like it's repeating the same pattern it repeated back here last year in April, May. It looks ready to go. It's ready to go. Any day now, this thing is going to just go. 2-week MACD cross, bullish divergence on the 2-week time frame. By like July, this thing's going to be out. Pay attention to this. This is an easy trade up to about $24, man. That's a huge trade for a stock. It's a big trade. All right. We caught it last time. Do you guys remember this? This was a pretty big break, man. I think this is right on the pinnacle of doing something similar to here. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be an earnings catalyst. What are they going to do? Chop this thing sideways for the next 2 months? No. No. I think this is going to go here pretty quick, pretty soon. Off that 2-week divergence like that. That is set up. That is set up. And what? We got a 2-week RSI break too, right? On our RSI? Yeah. Any day now, this thing just going to blow out. It's happening! NVAX! Yeah. That's kind of where that one's at. Moderna looks kind of similar. Again, just super low risk down here. RSI 2-week is like wreck 22. Like, okay, no COVID event or anything like that, but it doesn't matter. This company is still profitable. They sell they make vaccines and sell vaccines. People take that shit. Probably not a bad stock to have in your long-term portfolio. Anyway. Yeah, perfect retest of your previous highs here before the COVID crash, and then you know what happened after that. So yeah, you know what? This thing looks like at least a back test to 65 at some point. It's just straight down. There's nothing here. There's no resistance. Once this starts getting momentum, it's just gonna go straight back up to like $60. Okay, it's only a double up, man. I'm sorry for all you crypto guys that want 100x's and shit. Yeah, but looks good for a risk to reward. It's pretty good down here, dude. Crypto, man, 100x, man. Yeah. Fed does that in 1 hour. Yeah, it also gives back 80% of its move after it does something like that, right? Fuck, man, it just pulled back. Anyways, something to keep your eye on here. I think this is a great accumulation area for it, especially if it's going to hold this range low. Zeus meme coin explodes the next Ethereum meme coin. I don't know, dude. Sure. But yeah, at least, like I said before, man, like 60 to 65 bucks. And then maybe you do something like this and then pull back and make a higher low somewhere and try to eventually break out of this thing. You know, ASTS, yeah. I was a little bit concerned about that one. Yeah. I mean, dude, very strong. It's in a massive uptrend right now. I just I think it's a little extended, man. Looks like it's got some downside on it, man. Here. Yeah, I don't know why you're flagging a bit here on the RSI. Pull it back now, y'all. So it looks like. Looks like a pullback. There's some consolidation or something up here. I think you're good, dude. Try to find these range lows, these $18 levels or something. I think back to 18 bucks. What it looks like to me. Come back to the bottom of the range. You're making some lower highs. Right, high, lower high, lower high. Maybe come back down here, reset, hold that range low, and then pivot out of here. Something like that. It could take some time to reset, but it's very elevated up here. Very elevated up here right now. Okay. That one's gone. Man, I had this whole thing charted too, and I didn't even trade it, bro. Can you imagine just watching this happen and not being in this when it did this, when I had the range low and it's up fucking 20x? Damn, man. This was a runner. Massive runner. You know what I'm looking at? I'm still looking at it, and people think I'm stupid or crazy, is micro algo. This thing is wrecked. Absolutely wrecked. I mean, you don't want to own this thing below the range low, this 120 region or whatever. But man, if this thing ever decides that it's going to rally from here, I think it's got some crazy upside, like back up to like 20 bucks or something. I'm fine with owning, like I said, I'm fine with owning this stock as long as it's above, whatever this is, 120. And it's very volatile. Yeah. We'll see how this goes. It's trying to hold these range lows here too. Yeah, it's making lower highs again. But if it's gonna make higher lows than this range low of 120, you're showing some slight accumulation on the asset, right? So you're now holding this level. You had a big bounce off this range low and then just got smacked the other day. And I would be looking for this thing, if this holds, to go back up to here at least, which is a 70% move. That's no joke. And if by some miracle this thing just decides to break 250, man, I think it could look left. It could just run back up to like 20 bucks quickly. It's doing trading volume too. Look at the volume. Friday was 35. Yeah, okay, we had some selling going on Friday, but look at, you can see how quickly they pushed this thing up the other day. They pushed it up 112% in 2 trading days. So yeah. Just if you want a real shit coin or shit stock, this one's got some nice volatility. You can get some nice trades out of this thing. And the way I see it, it actually broke its downtrend here and just kind of back tested here and made a little pop, and then now it's maybe reaccumulation right here. Because on Friday, yeah, you can see, man. Beautiful. That looks like it's ready to do something, man. That looks good. Okay. Rejection, retest. Got to bounce. Just retested it again. Support. Next. Back up to the top of the range. Is what it looks like. Looks interesting. And the monthly chart is so wrecked on this thing. Technically, if you want to be technical, this wick down here is a higher low wick than this low here. So that could be a double bottom, man. That could be a double bottom on the wicks. It's a stretch, but it could be. Anyways, pay attention to it. I think it could do some stuff. How's our Standard Lithium company doing? Still holding these ranges. That's good. Yeah. Anything else here you guys want to look at before I jet? Anything pertinent? Any chart that looks interesting to you guys, or maybe you see some opportunity on it? How about this ADCT call, man? Flappy took this trade, right? Woo! That looks good, man. That looks really good. I think that's actually broken out. That's descending broadening formation to $50 on this thing. That is out. That is out. Moon River. Sure. Mover. Well, just like the rest of these altcoins, at or near range lows. Descending triangle stuff here. So a break is like a 13x. So maybe do about half that move. So yeah, back to $40 maybe, $30, $40. If you do the whole move, about 110, 115 bucks. Mover. Yep, it's close. It's close to doing some stuff. That's for sure. This is a fake breakout. Yeah. That's it. Over. All right. I'm about done here. Unless you guys got something else quickly that you guys want to look at. Here's your wrapped Bitcoins. Yeah. Looks good. Got some weeks and months ahead of you here with this 2-week stochastic. But yeah, that is 2-week stochastic RSI divergence. And your daily here, 2-day chart, pulled back to its breakout area here. So you want to see follow through off this back test is what you want to see. Right, you tagged 389. My only real concern is this on the 2-day chart. This momentum down. So that's what I'm concerned about right now, is that even if we bounce here, which was what we're doing, we could do something like this where we come back up to test 570, get rejected there, make one more leg down to 320s, reset that 2-day, and then run. So that's kind of what I'm thinking might happen. And that's because of this momentum here. But your 2-day RSI is sitting around 56, so it's not like it's really like extended or something. The daily got extended, you could see here a little bit, but we just got smacked back into this range. So we'll see how this ends up playing out. I think it'd be okay if we get a nice recovery off that range low. So yeah, we'll see. So you're holding the 12-hour super trend right now. 385 was tagged. It looks like if the trend continues, it looks like just higher lows, right? We made a higher high here. We made a higher high here. We're making a higher low here. If that's the case, we should see the $700-800 level here pretty quickly. And then you got a parabolic trend line that you could be following up to the top of that channel. May not be like that, but something like that. Yep, that's it. But yeah, this is concerning to me. That's all. This momentum here. Yeah, your 3-day here is kind of rolling over, right? But you're still above the 80 line. So as long as you're holding above that 80 line, I think you can maybe just sit up here and stay overbought and be like that parabolic shit that we want to see. That's how you end up holding that momentum is staying in that overbought territory. And it would make some sense that maybe it does that because the weekly and the 2-week momentum is nowhere near overbought. It's actually still, the 2-week is still oversold. So, yeah, this could be a major mover on Pulse Chain, which we already know this. So, cool. That's all I got, folks. Make sure you guys smash up the like button, hit the subscribe button, tick the notification bell. We'll catch you guys next week. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the stream tonight. We went about an hour and 20 minutes. You guys got an extra 20 minutes of my time tonight. So smash up that like button. And catch you guys next week. Appreciate all you guys tuning in. Peace.